Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. I am so thrilled you're joining us today because, wow, we are tackling a massive, literally industry-shaking mystery. For years, there was just one absolute titan in the entertainment world, right? A company so dominant that millions of us paid for it every single month without even batting an eye. It killed off the local video rental stores, it completely rewired how television works, and it became one of the most successful entertainment empires in history. But right now, that empire is facing an unprecedented crisis. Something really strange is happening, and today we're going to uncover exactly what it is, step by step. Okay, let's dive into this. The once unstoppable giant that killed video stores is bleeding subscribers. Actually, for the very first time in a decade, they reported a shocking net loss of 200,000 subscribers in a single quarter. And the projections? They're looking even worse. Massive numbers of Americans are actively questioning whether Netflix is actually worth keeping around anymore. Some are hitting the cancel button, while others are jumping ship for competitors. So the big mystery we need to solve today is this. What changed? Why are people walking away from the company that practically invented modern entertainment? Section 1. How Netflix ruled. The rise of streaming.
Now, to understand the crime scene, we first need to look at the motive and examine how this company built such monumental cultural dominance in the first place. Their timeline is honestly a masterclass in systematic disruption. Back in 1998, they started with DVDs by mail. It was a simple idea, sure, but it freed us all from those agonizing blockbuster late fees, and it laid the groundwork. Then, boom, 2007 hits, the streaming revolution. They took a massive risk by pivoting entirely to digital delivery. Fast forward to 2013, and they drop House of Cards, proving they don't just distribute content, they can actually make prestige television. And by 2016, they had achieved total global dominance. Shows like Stranger Things and later on Squid Game, they weren't just TV shows, they were massive global cultural events. They completely invented the whole binge-watching phenomenon.
During this era, what we can affectionately call the golden age of streaming, the perks were just completely unbeatable. You had absolutely no commercials interrupting your favorite scenes, a seemingly infinite content library, incredibly low monthly prices, and of course, unlimited viewing whenever and wherever you wanted. Because of these specific perks, Netflix became the absolute default choice for the American household. People abandoned traditional cable in droves, and Wall Street investors, well, they poured billions into the company, entirely convinced this glorious streaming money printer was just going to rule the world forever.
Section 2. The streaming problem. A plot twist brewing. And this brilliantly illustrates the sudden plot twist. Right at the height of this golden age, a massive problem was brewing that absolutely nobody saw coming. Suddenly, Netflix is no longer standing alone. They're the incumbent, sure, but now they're surrounded by incredibly deep-pocketed heavy hitters. Disney Plus, Max, Hulu, Peacock, Paramount Plus, Prime Video, Apple TV Plus, you know the drill. What happened is that every major media company looked around and realized they needed a piece of the pie, so they pulled their blockbuster content off Netflix and just started their own apps. Almost overnight, the market completely exploded with competition, and consumers were hit with severe streaming fatigue. Which brings us right back to our living rooms and a pretty harsh reality check. The golden age we all loved, low prices, all your favorite shows on one single app, no ads, it's entirely gone. The current reality is that streaming is expensive. The content is severely fragmented across a dozen different apps, and yep, the ads are creeping right back in. The great irony here is just absolutely staggering. Think about it. Streaming was originally supposed to be the glorious assassin that killed cable, but instead it just mutated into cable all over again, just with way more passwords to remember. Section 3. Why subscribers are leaving. The 5 suspects. But if they were so dominant, what exactly went wrong for them specifically? Let's investigate our main suspects driving customers away. First up, price increases. The service just isn't that cheap $8 alternative it used to be. Second, the infamous password sharing crackdown. Let's be real, getting unceremoniously kicked off your ex-roommate's cousin's account definitely forced a lot of hands. Third, there are simply too many subscriptions competing for your wallet right now. Fourth, content dissatisfaction. People are feeling like there's a huge quantity of shows, but maybe not the premium quality they've come to expect. And finally, tighter consumer budgets. With inflation, consumers are becoming incredibly budget conscious, evaluating every single dollar that leaves their bank account each month. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is this fascinating psychological pivot called subscription cycling. See, consumers used to treat a Netflix subscription like a utility bill. You just paid it every month, like your water or electricity, and forgot about it. Not anymore. Now people will subscribe just to watch the new season of a hit show, they'll binge the entire thing in a single weekend, and then they immediately hit cancel. Customers are now treating these massive platforms like temporary digital rentals. They cancel and return strategically based purely on what's releasing that month, which is completely destroying that reliable monthly revenue stream platforms rely on.
Section 4. The war for attention. The real competitor. Now, if you think other streaming platforms are the only threat here, prepare yourself for the ultimate twist of our explainer. Let's introduce the real mastermind behind this crisis. Netflix's biggest competitor? It isn't another streaming service at all. No way. The battle is no longer about beating Disney or Max. It is a much, much larger war. It is the broader digital economy's ruthless 24/7 war for human attention itself. Just take a look at where attention actually goes today. Notice that a combined 60% of attention among younger demographics is being eaten up by YouTube and TikTok alone. That's huge. Add in gaming, social media, and podcasts, and you see that audiences are consuming content in a fundamentally different way than previous generations. They aren't sitting down on the couch for a 2-hour movie. They're scrolling TikTok for 3 hours, watching deep dive YouTube video essays, or playing massive multiplayer games with their friends. This raises a highly critical question for the industry. Why would people pay a premium monthly fee for a streaming service when there is a virtually endless ocean of free, highly engaging entertainment sitting right in their pockets?
Section 5. Netflix's new strategy, fighting back.
Let's move to and see how this builds. Obviously, a giant like Netflix doesn't just roll over and accept defeat. They are scrambling to survive in this brutal new landscape with a massive 4-step counterattack. Step 1, they swallowed their pride and launched ad-supported plans to capture the budget-conscious viewer. Step 2, they're aggressively investing in live events and sports experiments to create these must-watch now moments that you can't just binge later. Step 3, they are actually expanding into gaming. They're offering mobile games to keep you inside their app ecosystem even when you aren't actively watching TV. I mean, who would have thought Netflix would want to be your next gaming console? And Step 4, they are heavily leveraging AI recommendations and massive investments in international content to find completely new global audiences. They're diversifying as fast as they physically can to fight back against the broader attention economy. So what does this all mean? The crucial takeaway here is simple. The era of effortless dominance is completely over. To be clear, Netflix isn't dying. There's still a colossal business pulling in billions. But the streaming industry has fundamentally entered a new, highly combative phase. Consumers are smarter, they are way more strategic with their wallets, and the competition for their time is completely ruthless. Which leaves us with this final, incredibly profound thought. The question isn't really whether Netflix can survive this crisis. The real question is, can any platform keep our attention in a world where entertainment has truly become infinite? As we navigate this new digital economy, your attention is literally the most valuable resource on the planet. Who you choose to give it to next? Well, that is entirely up to you. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope this helps you see the streaming wars in a completely new light. Keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.